Earning money in crypto is simple, but it's not easy. And let me relate this back to fitness. Guys, I'm Brian Phobos. If you're new to the channel, I'm back here mushroom hunting. I don't know if you guys have morel mushrooms where you're at. Today I haven't found any yet, so we'll see if we find any. But I want to relate this back to fitness because I've seen it so many times in fitness where there's all this gimmicky stuff sold, whether it's exercise machines or diet plans or this kind of stuff. But really you can sum it up in about 2 or 3, maybe 5 sentences. And the same thing goes for crypto. I think that there's this level of complexity added to it, or that someone's going to tell you some sort of secret sauce, and that's going to unlock some sort of secret that nobody else knows. And it's like, well, if that were the case, then why wouldn't they just keep it to themselves and just use it and kind of dominate the markets? Oftentimes they're not making money off the markets, they're making money off of selling people on the idea that they could buy their product and make money off of that mechanism or whatever strategy. So let's just review this from I felt like I saw something. I think it's just a leaf. That's the bad thing, and I think right now we're kind of a couple days. I think, yeah, this is a leaf. I actually think we need another couple days of like really, really warm weather. Right now, super sunny, super nice. Leaves are just popping out. And if we have a few more days like this, the mushrooms will come up and we'll be set to go. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with these are sponge mushrooms. They're called morels. But let's go back to fitness and crypto. The reason why I bring up fitness again is because you see it happen in the fitness industry so much, and there's no real shortcut in a lot of different things, but especially in fitness, there is, but there isn't. Somebody could take drugs, they could take performance enhancing drugs, or they could take diuretics, or they could take fat burners, or they could try to do this kind of thing. But really, when it comes down to it, a lot of that stuff you're not really getting the benefit of it. It's kind of like caffeine. It doesn't give you energy. It loans you energy with interest, because you're probably going to crash at the end potentially. Kind of depends what kind of energy it is, or where the caffeine was derived from, and that kind of thing. But with fitness in general, you're going to have to put in the work. So people are unwilling to do the work. They want a shortcut. And I see the same thing in crypto all the time. They think that somebody's going to unlock some sort of secret for them, or they want to expedite the process, when the process is actually extremely expedited versus traditional investment, stocks, options, real estate. Now, stocks and options, you can't get rich. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. And when I say rich, I mean you're putting in $10,000 and you're going to turn that into multiplied millions. You just don't have enough time, because even if you earn 20% a year, which is going to be beating almost any investor out there, and you sustain that for decades, it's not going to get you there before you're going to run out of time. Now, real estate, you have the power of leverage. So you could start with $10,000 potentially in, let's say, a smaller real estate market, work really hard, keep leveling up, and in 30 or 35 years, you could turn it into multiplied millions potentially, using the right strategies and stuff like that. It is a legitimate strategy to get rich. Real estate is. Stocks and options, well, the big gains were already taken by the venture capitalists, which most people cannot be venture capitalists in the United States because they're not accredited investors that have $1 million of net assets besides their primary residence. So now we're on to cryptocurrencies. A person could, and I've seen it happen, with $500, $1,000, and especially $10,000, turn that into multiplied millions if you do the right picks and you're able to last and withstand the pressing bear markets, and you get your average down low enough. So that's the main thing. So back to fitness though. How does this relate? I see it all the time. People want to make shortcuts. I was out in Arizona, was in the batting cage, hitting cage bombs, and this JUCO kid comes up to me, and he's assuming because I'm displaying light tower power, and just crushing the ball and all that kind of stuff, and I'm look fairly fit, he's assuming, well, he must have taken steroids. That's a common thing in baseball. Obviously, we've seen a lot of these big leaguers that it's, you got Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, A-Fraud. You have all these guys that have been like kind of caught up in these doping scandals, all this kind of stuff. So I think in baseball, the immediate thing is that, well, he has to be on drugs. So, okay, where can I get steroids? And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess you could maybe go down to Mexico or something, but I mean, I've never taken performance enhancing drugs. So, but I said, besides that, I asked him, why are you taking a shortcut? I've never seen you do a med ball circuit. And I just, there's form issues with your swing and all that kind of stuff, but mainly your core strength is not strong enough to be able to hit the ball that hard. So before you're out there running around injecting some kind of like lab synthesized drug or something into you, why don't you do some med ball circuits, get more explosive, do Olympic lifts and all that, and work on it from that angle. But people don't want to do that. It's the same thing like just general fitness. People want a six-pack, want this nap, but they want to eat cupcakes every day, or they want to drink pop. We call it pop here. Soda, cola, whatever you guys want to call it. But people always want to take a shortcut. And really with crypto, it's the same thing. People get so impatient that in the grand scheme of things, even a few years, let's say each Bitcoin cycle seems to be tracking along this 4-year cycle. 1 year down, 3 years up. And, it's played over and over again. But 4 years, now, of course, I mean, anything can happen. You could die tomorrow, die next week. Any of us could. But really when it boils down to it, that's not very long. It's not very long. So really it boils down to this. You just got to get your average low. You got to be in position to get your average low when we're in the down cycle, like we are now. We're in the accumulation phase. And you essentially have to, just peel off a certain amount of your investment as we go up and not get too greedy. That's really what it boils down to. Just like fitness, you want a six-pack, revolve your diet around rice, chicken breast, salmon, maybe some broccoli and asparagus. Revolve it around that. Don't eat too much. Go into a caloric deficit. Consume less calories than you're taking in, and you will continue to get leaner. And as you're working out, even if you're only working out for an hour each day, 4 or 5 times a week, you're going to see results with that. If you're working out intensely, I'm not talking just cardio. I'm saying like, you're building lean muscle, especially if you're doing the Olympic lifts, you're doing squats, you're doing step ups, you're doing lunges, doing bench press, incline bench press, dumbbell curls, that kind of thing. You're building lean muscle. You're not focusing totally on cardio. And, you keep, you just revolve your diet around rice, chicken breast, salmon, and broccoli. There you go. Then eventually you're going to get leaner and your muscle's going to pop out and you're going to be showing abs eventually. Once you get down to a certain, lower than a certain body fat percentage. And, you can show abs even at 12, 14% body fat, just depending on how your muscle structure is and stuff like that. But then definitely if you get down below 7 or 8, you're really going to be shredded. So that's as simple as it is. See, I don't have to buy, I don't have to sell something, I don't have to tell anybody that. And it's the same thing with crypto. I don't need to sell you, some kind of like secret sauce that, if you do this certain type of technical analysis and all that kind of stuff, that you're going to be well off, or that this is going to be some elite strategy. It's not really that hard. Trading in and out is typically very, very tough to time in the crypto markets. Now, if there's periods of time where we go parabolic for a while, yeah, you could say, yeah, take some profits, but it's going to be hard to completely like go out and then try to come back in. I'm waiting for that pullback, because sometimes when it goes, it just keeps going. Because people FOMO, they FOMO some more, and you're talking a lot of this FOMO previously has been retail investors. Just think when institutions, FOMO, and just think when nation states, FOMO, because it'll eventually happen. If I was a smaller country, I would buy a lot of crypto. And then you'd be like, well, why do we have all these national currencies? Do we really need 80, 90, 100 different national currencies? Well, it's because everybody wants to be able to fictitiously create wealth out of nowhere and control their own, part of the world. So it typically wouldn't make sense for most countries to just say, well, we're just going to use the US dollar, because they want to fictitiously create their own wealth. Well, what if they fictitiously created their own wealth and injected that into something that work has to be done for it to have value, which is cryptocurrencies? It's the people's money, and you have to do work, whether it's proof of work or it's proof of stake, or it's proof of delegated proof of stake. Work has to be put in and value has to be accumulated for it to be worth anything. And obviously the market obviously dictates the pricing of it and stuff like that. So really when it boils down to it, guys, cryptocurrencies are simple, but it's not easy because it's really hard to get there. It's hard. The fall is so drastic that then accumulating, I know what's in your head all the time. Some of you guys who are newer, you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, what if this fails, or what if it doesn't turn out? I never win the raffle. I never win every little thing that I've tried to get in that I got my hopes up for. I don't want this to be the next thing that I get my hopes up for, that kind of thing. You have to realize that one of the most powerful things a country can do is create money. So what makes you think that some kind of currency that is propagated across the whole world and that the whole world is voluntarily able to participate in, and it is growing in interest, what makes you think that that wouldn't be successful if the most powerful thing that a country can do is create their own currency? So we got the people's money now. Personally, I feel like we're pretty safe with most of the top 20 cryptos, to tell you the truth. Whether it's Bitcoin, Litecoin, even Ripple, EOS, shitcoin trash, Tron, EOS, all that stuff. We're pretty safe. We're kind of they're past the point of failure kind of thing. For the most part now, could something be 51% attacked and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, it's possible, but very unlikely. But guys, don't overanalyze it. Just like fitness, you got to put in the work. It's not easy. Nothing in this world comes easy. Once again, follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steam it. See you guys later.